It will work.
Wet work.
Yeah, wet work, a bit of a change from the roads. Oh, and there's a bridge, I think. I'm going to do it. You can try it. To skip it.
Oh, cool.
Just slow down for a second. Let's see. Fast.
Bingham, you took off with a whole heap of flap.
Yep. This thing's such a toy.
When you gotta get yourself a real plane?
Alright, bud. Got buds and airplanes now. A nice little river here.
Yeah, it really is.
Bit of a curve in the river here. Too much. Yeah, bridge.
Oh, Bingham, what did you hit?
The tree. They've been my nemesis. No, they've all been visible. All three of them that I've hit so far.
Nice
bridge, hit a tree.
Just something about being in Washington State next to me, a tree hugger, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah, well, some of these trees you can fly through and others get you.
We're following the route.
There's a bit of a relaxing river. It's not got a nice flow to it. It's doable.
You're right. I've gotten out of the fetal position that I was in.
You have that full motion thing, or not? Yeah.
I do not. And flights like this, I don't know how Triton does it.
I think he has a shot of... Yeah. And a shot of Kentucky whiskey probably goes a long way.
That's it. That's it. Little Arkansas moonshine.
Yeah.
It's not a bridge, just to keep you on your toes.
Do you have like a big red button, Triton, that you can hit real quick to stop any further movement before it happens?
Well, I saw that.
There's a huge bridge.
But in VR you can't see it.
Wanted.
How far does it lean over?
But it always feels worse than it is, right?
So what, the more whiskey you have, it's more easily fooled? Is that how it happens? Yeah, I think I saw this guy. It's about 22 degrees, isn't it? Or something.
I saw this fellow in a driving simulator, a full motion simulator, and that looked really rough. I mean, you have to be a youngster to do that kind of driving in that thing, because it was just shaking him up all over the place.
Yeah, has anyone seen the new Formula One movie? I mean, when you see Brad Pitt and the trailer is bouncing all over the place, but is it camera shake or actually how rough the tracks were?
They said they put cameras in cars and actually drove them. It's like that Top Gun technology. Put a bunch of cameras in there.
So it was the real deal, really?
I think so. I mean, they drove it on tracks. I remember that during the season last year.
The thing they did is they changed the livery afterwards. Some of the footage is from the outside footage is from the real cars, but then they changed it to the APX, to the virtual team. But, all the footage you see inside of the driving should be real. And it's not a real Formula 1 car, it's Formula 2, but it's still fast.
Oh yeah.
And they did let Brad Pitt drive a real Formula 1 car from McLaren a few weeks ago. So after the movie was already done. They said it was pretty good. So, did learn quite a lot.
What happened?
Yeah, well, consider he's not a young guy anymore either. So
Nope.
60s. Yeah, you're already old when you're 40 in Formula 1.
Yeah, that's right.
Say that to Alonso.
It's 42. Yeah, it's a hard right turn. Might have went the right way this time. It might have warned you. Oh yeah, there's a lot of people considering.
My favourite Brad Pitt movie, it's got to be either 12 Monkeys or Fight Club.
Yeah.
That was a crazy movie, 12 Monkeys.
It's movies where you can hardly...
That one.
It's got that accent, it's Irish. It's Fight Club.
Oh, Snatch.
Snatch is it?
Yeah.
Glorious Bastards.
Well, how about that early movie? Wasn't it True Romance where he plays like a
Oh right, yeah.
a dude on pot all high?
Yeah,
That was
it's
awesome.
All you see him doing is lead on the couch and it's stoned out your bed.
That was awesome.
Oh, that's a great movie, that True Romance.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Troy.
Troy?
Yeah, that's a good film as well.
I liked him in Ford versus Ferrari when he took the old man for a spin in the GT40 and freaked the old boy out.
It's Matt Damon.
Oh, was that Matt Damon? Okay.
Yeah, that was Matt Damon.
That was
Yeah, I put a little, if you're looking in nav map, you can see climb, exclamation mark. It's more to remember myself that we really need to climb there if you don't have the power. That's Sarah behind me. Here I am.
Nope. It's not. It's fair.
I'm looking for somewhere to land because I'm just looking for a bowl.
Cheese balls?
I need a bowl break.
The next one is our 1S2 Darrington. But it's still some ways away.
I don't dare to enter Darrington.
I think this is where the climbing starts for me, because you have to go a little bit to the left here into the side valley. Just to be sure I'm starting here. It's a bit like this with a lot of forest, but we can have a look around, enjoy the views. Good out here. Looks pretty. Yeah, there must be some room there. If you can find a flat spot.
Toot can let us know. It's way up there.
Not doing more than 80 knots climbing, so overtake me if you want. This is one of those valleys where you read the accident reports afterwards. People flying themselves into a dead end.
Density, altitude?
The height is about 5,700, I think.
Well, you know how sometimes when the weather's right, density, altitude messes people up and they overload the plane because they're not considering the conditions, and then they fly themselves into a valley and they can't climb.
Because of the way of the airplane.
Yeah.
And the weather.
Some ragged peaks.
So we can try to find a landing spot on the crest where we go over the top.
Okay.
No, it's really steep everywhere. We can try here a bit on the right. Spot.
I see a little lake up here.
Yes,
Might have
more
a
like
little.
Silver Tip Peak on the map. It's pretty doable.
I don't see much over here. I mean, I'm not sure about that.
This one works. Run up to the top.
Oh, wait.
Down trap or up trap? What am I gonna get as soon as I get close?
Okay, make sure it's
Yeah, this is doable. Then I'm stuck.
Don't lose power.
oh.
Yeah, going any. Extract from here.
Good.
Nice job, Bingham.
Like anticipate, I'm already sideways.
Just magically taxiing to the top. landing is doable, but then the rest, tricky. You got a nice view here.
Yeah.
Should we do a little 5-minute stop or 10-minute stop here, halfway?
Sounds good.
Toilet break or whatever, tea break. See you back 10 past the hour.
Okay, copy.
I'm back, I'm back. Come on, baby, you can do it. Might have to put the park brake on though.
Everyone just popped out all of a sudden for me.
crack at trying to buy that glider at Got Friends, but no, just PayPal works, but it just won't go to the next screen if your payment is successful. Crazy.
Can you get it from like Contrail or something?
I haven't checked it out.
Yeah, it might take a day or two. Well, no, it came out a few days ago, right? Should be on Contrail.
Haven't tried that site.
I think so.
Yeah, you can link your account. Yeah, because they're just, they're New Zealanders, They're so rough.
Yeah, we're in the southern hemisphere. They don't talk to anything below the equator, right?
Yeah, you live upside down, your heads are hanging down. I mean,
But don't worry, we'll be laughing when you heard about the North and South Poles are going to switch soon. So
That's right.
Yeah.
With soon you mean 30,000 years, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Certain terms and conditions apply, right?
That's right. I'm looking up contrails and it comes up, contrails harmful. Is that the site?
Now, is it already on Contrail? Because
I'm
I
having a
couldn't
look.
find it on Contrail and then I bought it on their site.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, it's there.
That's your ticket.
We need it.
Why is New Zealand New Zealand? Where's the old Dutch that found first Europeans to find New Zealand? The Dutch cartographers named the territory after the Dutch maritime province of Zeeland.
Nice.
Except we're pronouncing it all wrong, apparently.
Zeeland.
Zeeland.
New Zealand.
So let's see, let's say. But a small difference.
What's new in Dutch? The word new.
New.
Oh, it's exactly the same pronounced?
No, it's like a little I mixed in it. Between the N and the E.
So it's New Zealand.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Like pew pew, but with an N.
Sounds cooler than Zeeland, doesn't it? Zeeland.
It's funny if you say it, it sounds like it was south.
That's what
South.
happens.
But then
That's
again,
where
I don't
Zeeland
want to know
they're
why
playing.
it sounds in English. Okay, I think we can do a start. Everyone's back. And if they're not back, then we're just
I'm back.
okay.
And that's all that matters.
Did you get a bowl?
I did, yeah. Kim Sweet Diesel, very nice.
Good cheap.
Kim's Sweet Diesel.
Sweet diesel.
Sounds like fuel.
Yeah, is that food?
Weed.
It's because
medical
some of
weed
them
on
smell like
prescription.
some of them smell like fuel, right? That's what they call diesel. Is
Yeah,
that
the
right?
best ones smell like gasolines or like car tires. You know, it's going to be heavy. It smells like burning rubber.
Need some
my
great
God,
peaks
right
around here,
side.
by the way.
Descending into the valley.
How fast is Bill goes in the dive?
I'll accelerate. See if we can overtake.
Oh, that's just because I couldn't slow that thing down.
190. Come on, 200.
Meanwhile, I'm happy if I make one trip.
Diving off that top, I got to 194, I think.
This river is not really the one. Yes.
It's a creek.
Brook. Or creek.
Rook. I like that. Rook. Yes.
You don't say brook in US English.
Creek.
Crick.
Creek or creek.
We're in the south. It's a creek.
What part of and then it's a creek.
What, stand by you or what?
Blue bayous.
Are we back converged yet?
Yep.
Yes.
Flying again.
Okay.
Just took off heading west.
We're almost at waypoint 60.
Pretty cool mountain on the left.
Stick my head out of the airplane, but yeah.
That's right.
Nice thing about VR and Track IR, you can stand up and look out. You can stand up in your plane and look from outside the airplane.
Yeah.
That must be why I say they model the character doing that, just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, vertigo, man.
Still, in the beginning days of the VR, when we had the DK1, we had the game where you're walking the plank outside of a high-rise building. It's still the most scary thing I did in VR. Standing on a plank on the top of a skyscraper.
The only
think
thing
it's
that's gotten to me in VR is the on my son's Quest 3. There's a roller coaster game that is intense.
Oh, it would be. Now the scream's realistic as well. All right. went to that Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi or whatever, where they have the fastest accelerating roller coaster. And one of our guys had never been on a roller coaster, let alone the world's fastest accelerating. He was a bit shook up. I mean, the ride is quite short, but my God, that is brutal. Yeah, I might try that in VR again.
Epcot had a couple of things that were cool. Like, didn't they have a race acceleration? And they had the flying, something like that. You're in a big rig with like I don't know how many other people. Your feet are dangling.
I don't remember that, but is it kind of funny? Like for me, my only memories of Epcot and Disney are when my kids were that age and we would go there, right? So that's frozen in my head. Then they changed their rides and whatever, right? But for me, Epcot is only that small period of time when I took my kids there, and that's it. Oh yeah.
Tricky river,
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, here's the specs on the Abu Dhabi one. Strap in, put on your goggles, and prepare to be blasted to 240 kilometers an hour, that's about 150 miles an hour, in 4.9 seconds.
Okay.
You accelerate at 4.8 Gs.
It's Formula One territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's Silverstone right now, right, this weekend, and they've got these two curves, I forgot the name, Maggots and Beckett's, I think, and so it's left and right, following. Each of those is 5.1 G, left and then right. Can you imagine that?
Wow. Then you got the weight of the crash helmet on your head too, filming you sideways.
Oh, and you also have to drive the car.
And you have to do it 70 times. And then
Yeah.
those are just two corners of...
Yeah, 20 or something.
There's not...
Yeah.
We got one little where it's a little bit slow, the track at the end. But the rest is all high-speed corners.
Oh, my turn, Bingham. The trees got me.
Trees.
The river is widening a little bit here. And it is where it's possible again. It's impressive.
Like upside down half the time. Even in helicopters.
In a helicopter.
Yeah. That's some trick where you can do it.
Yeah, just turn your monitor upside down. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Get used to it pretty quickly.
There's a lot of Dutch folks here in New Zealand. They obviously adjusted well.
If there's one country I'd like to go back to, I think it's New Zealand. It's either is it all the way to north, Whangarei, or South Island. It's like the space.
Yeah, there's plenty of it here. Not many people. I think we've clocked, what, 5 million people for the land area the size of the United Kingdom.
And that's the right idea. People just spoiled.
And better yet, no Australians here.
We're in a bit of shade.
Okay, another little stop here, WA40, Whiskey Alpha 40.
There's whiskey.
So a little stop, full stop, and as soon as everyone's touched down, we can take off again.
I gotta say,
Power lines have disappeared.
We're in generator country now.
Am I the only one who thinks that Sixpack has a very reassuring voice? Because I was just thinking.
Yeah, he does.
the way
He's very
talks to us-
trusting.
Yeah,
I follow him
imagine he
into
comes
the
on.
flight, into the flames for sure.
Trusting or trustworthy?
Trustworthy. Follow me, just fall off the cliff. You're right.
I'm very
Yeah.
trusting.
Just took a
If
step
he's the
back.
captain, if
Okay.
he's the captain of your plane, and he comes on the intercom and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have lost all engines, but we are working on it, and I will get back to you shortly." I would be very relaxed and say, "Yeah, he's got that."
Are you telling us absolutely everything? And we're also out of coffee.
It's pretty trustworthy, but I'm completely not qualified.
Even then, it would sound like
Usually
it's
the
gonna be
track of
okay.
where I'm going. So.
Sorry, but I'm not qualified.
What would you do, Pacey, if you was on a plane and you heard my voice? Would you try and just check all the
Find
emergency
the
exits?
exit.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I'm probably the pilot that says, "Welcome to the flight. This is my first one." So good of you to join me on
This
my
is
first
my
flight.
first one ever.
Ever. No, it's actually.
Who's stuck in this plane? I can't. Don't worry.
Right, does anybody know where the panel lights are on the these? Come to the flight deck.
Fully qualified doctor. So if there's anyone who's got a medical emergency, I'm the one. But I need someone to explain to me what all those dials are in the cockpit.
And
Oh,
then
so
you
you're a
probably need to
doctor.
take over.
So I can come to you with all my
It's usually
various
it's the other way
ailments.
around. Usually it's the pilot asking for a doctor. Anyone's. It'd be fun if it's the
I think a doctor's more important than a pilot, especially like end of the world. You You can learn to fly a plane. You can't learn to steal something.
Did everybody have
Yes,
the
you
fish, or
can.
did somebody eat the chicken?
I had a one-day course. I know everything. I learned the defib machine. Just use that for everything.
Everything.
That's it.
Is it like St John's ambulance where they can just give you a polo mint?
But all I remember is the defib machine. And as I've got tech support, it all makes sense. Turn them off, turn them back on again.
That's it.
It's one. I think that's one advice you wouldn't like to try in a plane. Try turning everything off.
Yeah, no, not a good
Can
idea.
you turn it off and then back on again?
Maybe what happened with the 787 when they took off.
Yeah. Remember when they came out and they had this thing, it's got to reboot every 90 days or you're going to have a real problem or something?
Yeah.
And we're on day 89.
Good luck, everybody.
What time zone was that?
It was the Y2K bug, wasn't it?
Yeah, don't fly over the date line, right? Don't do that.
That's right.
Not a good idea.
Who's the nutter in the Caribou?
Because it's one of my favorite planes.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
On my 757 flight this week, there was only 35 of us on it, so the odds of having a doctor on board are pretty slim.
Oh yeah. So you were on a real 757 with only 35 people? Or are you kidding?
Yeah, no, it's our Air Force plane. They do a run up and down the country between the bases, and yeah, we just popped down to a base for the day, had a roast lamb for lunch, and then jumped on it and flew back.
I mean, a 757 is a rocket ship to begin with, but when it's that low loaded, that's got to be even better.
Oh yeah, we were at hundreds of feet past time we passed the control tower, halfway down the runway. It was just crazy. Because you've got the same engines for the RB211s. Ours have been chipped to 48,000 pounds thrust each, but they're made for a 767, made a much bigger plane. So you put a narrow body 7.5 on it, yeah, power to weight's bloody good.
Man, I'm jelly.
So hear from airline pilots that's their favorite plane if they have flown it.
Well, we had to teach our pilots to derate learn how to derate the engines. You don't need max power every time you take off when you've got 10,000 feet of runway and you're only going to use about 4.
Need and want are not the same thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Once with Emirates I flew in a 777 and I think there were 10 paying passengers on board.
Wow.
Completely empty. And it took off from Dubai to Qatar, very small Bahrain, very small trip. And it was like you said, it's like a rocket into the air. It's got no one on board.
That must have been the single most ridiculous flight. A 777. That short distance for 10 people.
It was like from Amsterdam to Bahrain, I think, and we had a stopover in Dubai. And then you think they take a smaller plane, but they don't have a smaller plane or whatever. But they took a 777 for that little, it's less than 1.5 hour flight or something.
Funny,
yeah. And only just a few people, so it's more like a repositioning flight, I think. That's lucky for me.
So what do you get now? A biscuit and a cup of tea or something? Oh, really? I might give you one.
TUI flight also does that with Curacao to Aruba. short stop in between.
See that often anymore.
Still smoke.
And the 737 once that had a wrinkle in its hull because the thing was making too much short stops from one island to another, and the aircraft is not really built for so much
Cycling.
Yeah.
Yeah, slamming it down on the deck.
It also had that emergency where the top turned into a cabriolet during the flight.
Hawaiian Airlines.
Oh yeah,
Managed to land it without breaking up.
Yeah, and the
Notable
main
737.
spar was bent but not broken. That was the lucky thing.
Could have ended quite differently.
Well, there were a couple of people for whom it did not end well, if I remember
No.
correctly.
There was the stewardess who got sucked out the first
Right.
hole in the hull.
Then there was it a DC-10, the cargo door blew out and ripped a hole in the side, yeah.
Yeah, it was a problem of many DC-10s and some of them crashed because of it, I think.
Until they finally fixed it.
And then they called it MD-11.
Yeah, that's right.
Follow up, maybe. Once you got the chance, maybe change the name. Yeah. It's a bit like the Max 8, I think. Got a bit of a PR problem.
Yes. Yeah. It's all about brand image, isn't it? Reputation.
But you see now the Max 8 is flying everywhere. You can get out of it. It takes a lot of money and time.
You just have to have bigger problems than that one thing.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
I mean, what they do with the Ford Pinto and the exploding gas tank, it was just, we'll accept the risk, didn't Ford say?
Yeah, that's not what you want to hear as a client. They're expendable.
That's right. Are you feeling lucky today, Punk?
See, when you say it, it doesn't even sound mean enough. It sounds actually polite.
Come on, Pacey, tell us how Clint Eastwood really said it.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
Was it the Pinto where if someone crashed into you from the back, your car exploded because it was
That's the one.
the fuel tank in the back?
It was cheaper to settle the lawsuits than to fix the problem.
But there were more cars with the tanks were too close to the backside of the bumpers.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the only car. I mean, I've got a 74 Ford Capri in my shed, and the fuel tank's right at the back, just like the Pinto. But it didn't have but it had the cool image rather than the danger, I don't know.
Oh yeah, and also the AMC Pacer.
Oh yeah.
Nice lines.
But I'd rather buy a DeLorean so I can go back into the future.
Just keep it at 88.
Stainless steel car, was it?
There was one for sale earlier this year, and I offered the guy 88,000, but he didn't pick it up. He got 100,000 New Zealand dollars for it. Like, wow, that's just crazy. It's like 50,000 US, 60,000 US.
And then you still have to put a real engine in it.
Yeah, that's right. Although this guy he'd got rid of the old fuel injection system. He put a modern coilover plug and decent cam and direct injection, well not direct, but sequential injection system on it. So probably went a whole lot better.
Oh yeah.
I used to work with a guy who owned that before that last guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a guy called Grant. Yeah, he had that for ages. I think he shipped it over to the States as well. But when he sold it for over $1,000,000.
Yeah.
There was a DC-10 taking off from Amsterdam Schiphol, and he lost one of his nacelle covers from one of the engines, and it fell just outside my village where I live.
Is it on your wall now?
Yeah, that's right. Did you get to keep it? Yeah.
Like what nacelle?
But on my desk I've got a rear view mirror of a tornado of the canopy that crashed next to my tent when I was young in England while on holiday.
Wow.
So it was 10 meters from my parents and my tent. There was a little hedge in between, and in the night you heard a sound. What's that? It was the canopy that was coming down after apparently a tornado. The crew ejected either with the electronics, I think, or the engines. Right. The canopy was pirouetting down, crashed with a loud bang. All the glass or the perspex out, and in the morning you see it lying right next to my tent. So it's a crazy idea that you might not have been there. It fell a little bit to the left or right.
Right.
But you could get everyone at the, or a lot of people at the camping took some memorabilia out of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the tornado is rather old, isn't it?
Yeah, this was like early 80s, 83. It's very young.
I was in England. Was in England with my motorcycle, and I was in the Dartmoor forest. And then you have these shallow mountains they call like tors. And on top of the tors you can find all kinds of rock formations. And sometimes they have a name for the top of that tor, like Bowerman's Nose or something. And I was on the top there, and the jets from the RAF, they could fly low there. So I was on the top of one of those tors, and I saw a Panavia tornado coming right to me at my altitude where I was on the tour.
That's cool, yeah.
And I jumped into the air, and I waved my arms. And the guy flew over me, and he did the greetings with his wings.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
cool. Must be a bit like
Something
the
we
Mako.
never forget.
Yeah. If you can see the guy in the cockpit acknowledging you. There's a little stop here. Maybe touch and go. Because I have to work on my left. Keep up. Let's make it touch and go. Just because it's not that challenging, this one. Just keep it slow. Yeah, let's go back to the river. concentrating, either landing or
Isn't it in the real aircraft below 10,000 feet, the crews are not allowed to have idle chit-chat?
Sterile cockpits.
Yeah, that's the one.
there's so many rules we're breaking. It's unbelievable. And VFR, a lot more is allowed, of course.
And we didn't even ask AGC for clearance.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
You say that so well.
I wish I could actually do it.
Yeah. You can in the sim. Are you in VR, Pacey?
Oh yeah. Quest 3.
Yeah, one of the guys at work tried ordering one, and they said there's like a 6-week wait time to get new stock, so they must be flying off the shelves still.
Could also be the whole tariff business.
Or it could be New Zealand once again. Can't get stock. New Zealand.
New Zealand.
I think in 100 years there will be very little people still speaking Dutch, I'm afraid.
When you go to a shop in Amsterdam or The Hague or Rotterdam, especially Amsterdam, of course. When you go into a shop and you start asking something in Dutch, oh no, sorry sir, only English.
Oh really? Oh gosh.
It's a bit like going the way of the Irish. It's also another language which almost died out.
You mean the old language? The old language?
Yeah, the old Irish, which is the Celtic Irish.
Yeah.
But I think then the English have something to do with it. In this case, we're only ourselves to blame that we're starting to talk English voluntarily.
It's very
It's going to be.
It's very complex. The
English,
the,
Spanish, and
Celtic
Mandarin.
language.
Sorry, English and Celtic.
And the Celtic language is very complex.
Yeah, it's a pretty different language. The Welsh and Gaelic is also a little bit Celtic origin.
Yeah.
Then you got Britannia or Brittany, where they also, I think, still have some.
Yeah, there's also a piece of Celt leftovers there.
That's about it.
And the strange thing is when you see it in text and you try to pronounce it, almost every sound is not correct.
Double L, you say schlang.
But has the Dutch language adopted, non-Dutch words like you call a computer? There's no translation for that?
Of course the English is, but also French. It's just like English does. We say parapluie, also French for rain in English. Porte-monnaie, it's also French wallet. What's the
Germans
French
do that
word?
too.
Yeah, but there
It
are
was,
also Dutch words you find in English without knowing. Just a few minutes ago you said the word brook. I think it originates from Old Dutch.
so many words that has to do with ships, with navigation, that are origin Dutch.
We also say broek in Holland, Dutch language, and then we write it as B-R-O-E-K, and it's derived of the English word broek, because the meaning of the old word broek in Dutch, it means peat, like veengrond.
Do you think it originates from English?
It's quite the same, broek and broek.
I also learned that what we call koekjes, that became cookies in English.
There is a YouTube movie about a guy who says how Dutch language has influenced the English language throughout the years.
I did some research on maps, Russian, map making in Russia back in the day of Tsar Peter the Great, so that's 1700 thereabouts, and he hired a lot of Dutch map makers to go to Russia to get them to learn map making, and now there's a lot of words. They also brought a lot of ship builders, a lot of words that also got to do with ships and navigation in Russian are also Dutch, the same Dutch words. So it went both to in English, but also in Russian. You have a lot of loan words from the Netherlands.
That's also because the Russian language was not that modern anymore, and a lot of modern words were coming into the language and stayed a little bit the same with a little bit of dialect, like probleemje, problemen, problems.
I didn't know. Yeah.
What tickles me pink is the fact that we have 3 Dutch people on this group flight, and it's a small country.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I think it's as big as Wales, but we have 20 million people.
They're all connected to the internet with high-speed cables.
And you speak English, so that makes it easier to be on an international group flight.
Yeah,
my English is not that great. My vocabulary is a little bit too small. But I think my pronunciation is rather good.
Definitely better than my Dutch.
Yeah, better than my Dutch.
Better than my English.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm also always looking for the right words.
Well, I'm Afrikaans, and there's a lot of Afrikaans words that are exactly the same as Dutch words.
That's colonialism for you.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Afrikaans is more original Dutch, I think, than current Dutch is. Afrikaans and Dutch went both their own way after 1600 or something, 1650. Afrikaans stayed a bit more true to the old Dutch. Valued.
And the way Suriname people are speaking Dutch is also a quite strong dialect.
Their own languages. Mix up.
Like Papiamento or something?
Yeah, Papiamento. I think the same happens with English.
I think Papiamento is more Spanish.
certificate. I think it's a mix of multiple languages. But you got the same with other countries, Trinidad and Tobago with English, where they got local languages mixing with Creole, yeah. What do you call it? Penguin English? No, pigeon. Pigeon English.
What is pigeon in English?
Yep. No. I think they call the pigeon in English is that English where, yeah.
It's where all the words are combined, kind of thing. It's a mash of traditional and the imported language. Yeah.
You can recognize a lot of English, but it's completely mixed up with. It's not one language. Pidgin English can be different in different places.
Beautiful outcome of the last night.
Yeah.
Changed it.
Some German.
Last mile.
Almost perfect timing there, six-pack.
I think it's more my German. Pünktlichkeit.
Pünktlichkeit, ja.
Punctuality.
But to me, in my language, a six-pack pilot is a pilot who's got a six-pack of beer beside him.
Yeah.
You know, drinking on the job. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, you can get all kind of associations. It can be beer. It can be my fitness levels. It can be the six-pack of instruments in the cockpit.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that one. Yeah.
That's your action. That's what why you chose that name.
Yeah. But also the others, of course.
Yeah.
He does have the physique. He does have the beer next to him. He's got it all.
It shows that I'm not too serious if I want to go for the beer option. I like planes with analog dials. The six-pack.
Steam gauges.
Yeah, that's the one.
The right way.
Well, it's just.
Then you need this glider. You can configure the cockpit, place all the gauges wherever you like.
Well, there must be some logic in it.
Oh, what you prefer? If you just get sick of logic, then
No, I mean in normal aircraft when you buy one.
There should be a version.
There's a standard layout.
Standard layout where you want your horizon, your altitude, speed. I think in the end, after the Second World War, the Americans set the standard of what a good layout should be for a cockpit.
Wasn't the DC-3 that started the whole six-pack layout?
If you look at an English or British aircraft war or before, it's quite cluttered.
It's random, if anything.
Yeah. For every other country the same.
Yeah, the speedometer is sometimes in miles per hour instead of knots.
Yeah.
The Germans in kilometers per hour. Germans and Russians in kilometers.
And altitude in meters, right?
The Dutch also bought quite a lot of American planes even before the war, so they were already a bit converted.
Come on, Pacey, you know America wants to go metric. You're just hiding the inevitable, you know.
Well, it's funny for me as a German living in America. A lot of the stuff transitions, right? But there's, like, I stopped thinking in Celsius. You know, I just stopped thinking in that. It's just very inconvenient when you live in America to think in Celsius. But other stuff, I still kind of think in metric. Like, it's a mix, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
And it gets
Well,
worse. It's like a pound in German is not a pound in America. In Germany, a pound is exactly half a kilogram. In America, a pound is 450 grams.
Yep, it had to be different.
Had to be not just different, but extra different.
Extra different.
Yeah, what's a stone?
Stone, yeah. What is that?
Yeah, and then the threads on bolts and stuff. In Whitworth threads.
Oh, yeah, and nuts and bolts hardware. Yeah.
In inches.
Atoms.
If it works.
My son is doing an apprenticeship on helicopters, and I think the engine's Imperial and the airframe's a metric, being Airbus, and he's having to buy tools and buying Imperial socket sets. So I'm going, yes, it's crazy.
Thanks to Russell for the flight plan, and I hope you liked it.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, great pleasure.
Thanks for leading. That's great.
Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely.
This was great six-pack.
I think you should rename yourself to 8-pack because you deserve it.
I got an upgrade. Thanks. I'll change my username.
Get a 12-pack of beer.
Oh yeah, that's right. 12-pack.
Half a dozen pack.
It does have the same ring. Okay, see you next time.
Thank you.
Weekend.
Bye. See you next time.
See you
Thank
all
you very
later.
much. Bye-bye.
Six pack.